Main Street glowing under fadables, a Friday night that never really lived. Windows down, the summer hanging low. The radio found a place I used to know. Your name isn't written in the air, your face isn't waiting everywhere, but there's a certain chord, a certain tone that turns an empty road into a home. Time can pack away the photographs, but some things never lose their color. What the music knows, nobody else can see. How a simple melody unlocks a memory. Not enough to break my heart, not enough to make me cry, just enough to bring you back for a moment passing by. What the music knows, it never lets me hide. The diner sign still flickers after dark. The river bends exactly where it starts. Most of those years have drifted out of sight, like headlights disappearing into night. I've learned how to carry what is gone without wishing I could bring it home. Still every now and then a song appears and fills the distance from 1,000 years. Funny how a few familiar notes can find the words we left unspoken. What the music knows, nobody else can see. How a simple melody unlocks a memory. Not enough to break my heart, not enough to make me cry, just enough to bring you back for a moment passing by. What the music knows, it never says goodbye. Maybe that's the reason songs survive. They keep little pieces of our lives safe between the echoes and the sound, waiting to be found. What the music knows, life somewhere in the air, in the spaces between yesterday and everywhere. I don't need to stay back there, I don't need to rewind time, but every now and then a song reminds me some things never really leave your mind. What the music knows, the music knows. They told you keep your head down low, don't make waves, don't let it show. Every dream's just another thing they try to fold beneath their wings. You learn to wear a quiet face, hide your fire, know your place. But there's a storm behind your eyes, getting stronger every night. can only bend so far before you remember who you are. I was born to be heard, not to disappear into the crowd. Born to be heard, not to carry all that silence now. Every shadow, every scar made me stronger than they are. I was born to be heard, and I'm not backing down. Every label that they gave, every doubt they tried to raise, built a ladder to the place where I'm finally unafraid. I don't need that permission now, don't need saving anyhow. The voice I buried underground is rising up without a sound. Oh, you can only bend so far before you remember who you are. I was born to be heard, not to disappear into the crowd. Born to be heard, and not to carry all that silence now. Every shadow, every scar made me stronger than they are. I was born to be heard. Oh, yeah. And I'm not backing down. Backing down. Oh, yeah. Oh, let the walls come crashing down. Let the truth be louder now. All the years of holding back turn to thunder when they crack. Oh, I can feel it in my veins. Nothing left to hide away. I was born to be heard, like a river finding open ground. Born to be heard, like a lost soul finally being found. Every shadow, every scar brought me exactly where we are. I was born to be heard. Hey, yeah, hey. And if my voice can light the dark, then I'll sing with all my heart. I was born to be heard. Yeah, I was born to be heard. Oh, I was born to be heard. Yeah. We were running on the edge of doubt, looking for a way to figure it out. Every wrong turn, every winding street led us closer than we thought we'd be. Windows down in the summer air, nothing but a prayer getting us there. The world felt heavy on our shoulders then, but we kept moving with the wind. When the night got colder, we leaned a little closer. We go higher together through the stormy weather. When the road gets rough and the sky won't clear, I know you'll be here. We go higher together now and forever. Every mountain looks smaller from above, and we're lifting each other up. There were days when the light burned low and we forgot everything we know, but a single spark can start a flame. Suddenly nothing feels the same. Every sky tells a story now, not about the fall but getting out. Every mile made the picture clear, how we ended up right here. When the weight got heavier, we carried it together. each other up. We become one. I used to leave the windows open, chasing every passing train. Thought the road was where my heart lived, thought I'd never wanna stay. Then you came with muddy sneakers, tiny fingerprints on walls, turning every careful silence into wildflowers in the hall. The days got shorter, the years got fast. Funny how the little things become the things that last. You took the room inside my head and filled it with your light. Every broken plan I carried turned into something right. I don't miss the life I knew, though sometimes I miss the sleep. The best parts of who I am now are the promises I keep. There's a picture on the fridge door, crooked stars and purple skies. Every masterpiece reminds me love looks different through your eyes. Some days feel a little heavy, some nights stretch beyond the dawn, but your laughter in the kitchen keeps the whole world moving on. The days got shorter, the years got fast. Funny how the little things become the things that last. You took the room inside my head and filled it with your light. Every broken plan I carried turned into something right. I don't miss the life I knew, though sometimes I miss the sleep. The best parts of who I am now are the promises I keep. One day you'll walk beyond these streets, farther than I've ever been. But wherever your story carries you, you'll always carry me within. You took the room inside my head and filled it with your light. Every ordinary moment shining golden in hindsight. I don't need another ending, I don't need another dream. The best thing I ever became was someone you could lean on. You left your jacket on the diner chair. The waitress folded it like you were there. Outside, the trucks kept rolling through the rain. like every mile was calling out your name. I watched the coffee cool beside my hand, the radio lost somewhere in a band, the static drifting through the Tennessee sky. Neither of us asking reasons why. Some hearts are houses, some hearts are roads. Mine was always moving, even when it felt like home. If you find a town that feels like forever, stay a little longer than we ever could. If you find a reason not to look over your shoulder, I hope it treats you good. I'll carry your shadow through the weather, and every story that we made come true. You don't need my permission to keep going. I love you any way you choose. The river carried silver through the dark, like someone dragging moonlight through the park. I thought about the things I never said, the words that live between us instead. There are nights I miss you more than I can tell. There are mornings where the silence sits too well. Both can be true at the same time. Somehow I finally understand it now. Some hearts are anchors, some hearts are sails. You were always steady, I was chasing distant trails. If you find a town that feels like forever, stay a little longer than we ever could. If you find a reason not to look over your shoulder, I hope it treats you good. I'll carry your shadow through the weather, and every story that we made come true. You don't need my permission to keep going. I love you anyway you choose. The road behind us isn't getting shorter. The road ahead won't wait for me and you. So I wait from the edge of the horizon and let the daylight pull you through. If you find a life that fits you better, don't waste a second wondering what I do. I'll be somewhere singing to the distance, still loving any way you choose. There's a photograph fading in a drawer, a crooked smile nobody sees anymore, a little league jersey hanging in a hall, somebody answered when you'd call. A front porch light left burning through the rain, a mother whispering your childhood name. The world moved on, the records turned to gray, but love doesn't disappear that way. Every life leaves a shadow in the sun. Every story starts with someone. You are more than a name on a page, more than a line the time erased, more than a face the world forgot, more than the questions they never got. Somebody laughed with you, somebody cried, somebody held your hand one July night. Though the years may drift away the same, you were always more than a name. Maybe you danced beneath county fair lights, maybe you chased down fireflies at night, maybe you carried dreams across the state, thinking tomorrow couldn't wait. The miles grew long, the trail went cold, the newspapers folded, the story got old, but somewhere your memory still remains in hearts that never stopped calling your name. Every life leaves a mark in the dust. Every soul deserves to be known and loved. You are more than a name on a page, more than a line the time erased, more than a face the world forgot, more than the questions they never got. Somebody laughed with you, somebody cried, somebody held your hand one July night. Though the years may drift away the same, you were always more than a name. And if the stars could gather every trace, they'd spell your story across the sky someday. No one is meant to vanish without a sound. No one is meant to be left unfound. You are more than a name on a page, more than a line the time erased, more than a whisper carried by the wind, more than a mystery that never ends. Somebody loved you before the pain, before the silence, before the rain. And that's the truth the years can't change. You were always more than a name, more than a name, more than a still remembered, more than a name. They said you never leave that road behind, dust on your boots and trouble in your eyes. Every porch light flickered when your name came up, like a storm nobody wanted to talk about. You wore your hurt like a second skin, laughing loud while the dark crept in. Nobody knew how hard you tried to outrun the weight it carried every night. You weren't the story people told. You were more than what they chose to hold. escape. Sweetest escape. The town still talks and whispers now, like they ever knew what you were about. But I remember late July, watching sparks fall from a painted sky. You had a heart to beat too high, even when the world stood on the other side. And every scar beneath your smile was a map of every unforgiving mile. You weren't a warning sign to me. You were somebody trying to breathe. Oh, sweetest escape. You were reaching for a little grace, looking for a place where the noise would fade, where the shadows couldn't call your name. Oh, sweetest escape. If heaven keeps the light awake, I hope you're dancing free beyond the blame, far from the ache. Sweetest escape. Sweetest escape. Oh, maybe peace was waiting past the county line, past the sleepless years and the restless nights. And maybe love is finally speaking soft enough for you to hear it now. Oh, sweetest escape. No more running through the pouring rain, no more carrying every chain, no more fighting through another day. Oh, sweetest escape. The stars still shine where you remain, and every memory speaks your name, not with regret, but with grace. You were never your mistakes. You were the sweetest escape. I learned patience from the cracks in your hands, from watching you keep going when nobody understands. You never wore a halo, never claimed to know enough, but somehow every little thing you did became my compass. There were days we didn't say the things we should have said. Some dreams got lost between the miles and years ahead. But time has a way of softening the sharpest edges down, and teaching us that love is more than words spoken out loud. Now I see it in the mirror. Every passing year I'm made of your love, the quiet kind that never asks for much, the steady light that stays when times get rough. Every lesson, every scar helped me become who I am. And when the world feels cold enough, I remember I'm made of your love. I'm made of your love. I still hear your voice in ordinary days, in open doors and helping hands and small acts of grace. just hearts that chose to stay and catch us when we fall. Now I carry what you gave me further than you'll ever see. I'm made of your love, the quiet kind that never asks for much, the steady light that stays when times get rough. Every lesson, every scar helped me become who I are. And when the world feels cold enough, I remember I'm made of your love. Oh, I'm made of your love. Oh, no, you weren't perfect, neither am I, but love was never measured by getting everything right. It's in the way we keep showing up again and again. I'm made of your love, the kind that grows stronger with every touch, the kind that lives on long after us. Every memory, every road, every seed you ever sowed becomes a part of who I've become, forever made of your love. I found an old photograph today, faded corners, names erased. Funny how the years can run, but leave a shadow where you've been. I used to count the ways you hurt me, like prayers I couldn't put away, holding every broken moment like it might explain the pain. But every road I take leads me back to one truth: some things don't heal all at once. Some hearts take time to bend. I'm gathering piece in pieces, learning where the story ends. I don't need to call it justice, I don't need to understand. I'm letting go a little farther than I ever thought I can. There were nights I wore the silence like a coat against the cold. Every word I never told you turned to dust and drifted home. Now the weight is getting lighter, not because it disappeared, but because I stopped carrying everything I feared. And every scar I keep teaches me what love. Some things don't heal all at once. Some hearts take time to bend. I'm gathering piece in pieces, learn where the story ends. I don't need to call it justice, I don't need to understand. I'm letting go a little farther than I ever thought I can. Maybe forgiveness isn't freedom. Maybe freedom comes before, when you finally stop reliving what you're fighting for. and finding myself again. The past can keep its echoes, the night can keep its rain. I'm walking toward the daylight without needing who's to blame. Piece by piece, the heart lets go. Piece by piece, I finally know. We built a house from stubborn dreams, stacked every promise in between. Now the echoes know our names, but nothing sounds the same. I hear your footsteps down the hall, like a memory against the wall. Neither wrong and neither right, just two shadows in the light. Maybe love isn't a war to win. Maybe letting go is where we begin. So I'll raise my last white flag tonight, lay my armor down beside the light. No more keeping score of who got hurt, no more digging through the dirt. If your heart needs somewhere else to be, I won't hold it here for me. I love you enough to set you free. That's my last white flag tonight. The coffee cools beside the sink, while we're both too tired to think about the words we never said, or the roads that lie ahead. There's still kindness in your eyes, even through our goodbyes. And that might be the hardest part, watching grace outlive the dark. Maybe love isn't holding on too tight. Maybe it's knowing when to stop the fight. So I'll raise my last white flag tonight, lay my armor down beside the light. No more keeping score of who got hurt, no more digging through the dirt. If your heart needs somewhere else to be, I won't hold it here for me. I love you enough to set you free. That's my last white flag tonight. What we had will always stay, even as it slips away. If this is where the river bends, I'll bless the road that never ends, and carry every beautiful thing from our